Allah give me a brain, right, to see what's plausible.
Oh, so just to get it right. So now, at first you said it's just Quran and it's Hadith. Yeah. Whatever agrees with that is good. What doesn't, you reject. Now you're saying it's Quran, it's Hadith, and it's what historians say.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, we're going to take historians. Yeah.
Okay, good. Do historians say that Jesus died by crucifixion?
Your modern day historians, yes. Yeah. Bar Ehrman, they say he died by crucifixion.
Oh, historians say that Jesus died by crucifixion. Is that true?
Of course not. No. وَمَا قَتْلُوا وَمَا صَلَبُوا. Allah was not allowed to be defeated.
So your method of truth, your method of reality is butchered.
Hello, amazing viewers. Welcome to another episode of What is the Injeel? As a Muslim is confused about what the Injeel really is. Let's watch this video to find out more amazing truth.
Hey, what's up, boss?
How you doing, man?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
So, well, I had a few background topics up before, but I mean, I guess I have one here. You want to dive into this one? What is the Injeel?
The Injeel, yeah, we believe the Injeel was the book given to Isa ibn Maryam alayhi salam, the gospel.
Is this Omar?
Yeah.
You have a TikTok?
I'm back, yeah, bro. This is my day on TikTok.
First day on TikTok. Welcome.
Hey, you're sharp, man. My voice is kind of messed up. I don't know how you recognize me. That's awesome.
It took a second. But
yeah,
it's a little from a cold. You know. Okay, for sure.
Yes.
All right, man. So I believe so. I mean, we've talked about pretty much everything before, but we can dive into this.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe that I have the Injeel.
Okay.
Obviously, you wouldn't say that I do. You don't believe I have the Injeel.
Right.
And why is that? What's the reason why you say what I have is not the Injeel?
So just basically from the Islamic perspective, we don't believe that, like, when Isa alayhi salam when Jesus was here, he was preaching like what Mark's wrote in 70 AD or Matthew in 85 AD and vice versa, like the biography. I believe he was preaching what God revealed to him, confirming the Torah and abrogating some of it and allowing them to have certain things that they couldn't do, like abrogating laws, and also to correct them, and to bring them back to the path of God.
Okay, so you don't believe as Muslims that Jesus was preaching what Mark wrote down, or Matthew, Luke, or John?
Exactly.
So who would you say wrote the Injeel then?
Who wrote the Injeel? We believe, if you look at the tafsir of the ayah, I don't know if you guys, that was the one you're talking about, but Al-Ma'idah or Al-Imran, we believe that that Allah gave this as a test to Bani Israel to keep this book, that it was a test, and of course they sold it for miserly gain, it says in the Quran, and they failed, you know what I mean? For their
It doesn't say that about the gospel. It doesn't say that about the Injeel.
If you look at the tafsir of Ibn Kathir, it says basically to the close wording that they basically sold it for a miserly gain.
Who wrote it though?
That's the Quran actually that says they sold for the miserly gain, but the tafsir goes more in depth into it.
So who wrote it?
Who wrote what? The Injeel?
Yes, who wrote the Injeel, bro?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's lost, so according to our Aqidah.
Got you. Have you ever read the Injeel?
No.
Have you ever seen it?
No, we believe it's lost, right? We don't believe that, yeah.
You ever touched it?
No, the only thing, the remnants, if you want the Injeel, the closest you can get to is the Quran. The Final Testament, yeah.
You haven't seen it, you haven't touched it, you've never read it.
I know what you're going to say next, but go ahead, yeah. I don't want to interrupt you.
And you don't know who wrote it?
Well, we know who it's revealed to. We know the author, Allah, God.
I didn't ask about its revelation. You don't know who wrote it, is that correct?
Yeah. Like, what do you mean?
So how do you know, since you don't know who wrote the Injeel, how do you know that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John did not write the Injeel?
Because I'm not sure. Good question. I'm not gonna refer on second century church fathers to confirm. Even like, because it's not. I'm just following what the Christians call to tell me, like JD.
Second century church fathers. What century was Irenaeus?
Second century.
What century was Ignatius?
They're all second century.
Ignatius is first.
Well, he was probably born in first, but I mean, when did he die?
What about Polycarp? Is he first or second century?
When did they all die? Like 130, 140? Like they came way later on. Later.
Polycarp. What century?
I don't know. You tell me. Second?
He's first century.
Okay, but when he was born first century, right?
What about Papias? What century is he?
Polycarp.
Yes.
I'm looking at Polycarp one at a time. So Polycarp was what? This thing's lagging. So yeah. So he died 155. It's saying here.
Yeah, so he's first century. Polycarp is first century. Ignatius, first century. Papias, what century is he?
I don't know. That one I don't know about.
He's first century. So we aren't second century church fathers. These are first century church fathers and theologians that attest to the authorship of the gospel. Now,
but so that's a pretty blank statement, man. I mean, because Mark, we're talking about Mark, right? I was talking about, yeah. Were you talking about Mark, or are you talking about general? Because a lot of them had different ones. They didn't. It wasn't canon yet until Athanasius, 3rd, 4th century. So these 27 books until Athanasius wrote his letter.
That's not true at all. The Gospels were circulating around the churches all together. What are you talking about?
Not these 27 books, man. I would love for you to bring that up right now. These 27 books were canon? Go ahead, pull it up.
Talking about the gospel specifically, right?
Are you talking about the 4, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John?
Talking about the gospel. Yeah, the gospel.
Well, I don't know what you mean. Today we have to, in the Roman Catholic Church, they'll show me 73 books. You guys have 66 books, which I agree with you guys.
In the Catholic Church, how many accounts of the gospel do they have?
Yeah, 73 books.
How many accounts of the gospel do they have?
When you say gospel, you have to define it. You mean Matthew, Mark, and John? You're talking about Paul's writings? What's up, brother? What's the question? Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. I'm bewildered.
What was your question? Of the Catholic Church, how many gospels?
How many accounts of the gospel do they have?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I understand your question then.
They have the same 4 that you find in the 66 book canon. They have the same 4 that you find in the Orthodox canon. They have the same 4. All Bibles, all canons have the same 4 accounts of the gospel. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Okay.
All right. So now that we got that underfoot, you don't know who wrote the Injeel. You don't know who wrote the Injeel. How do you know that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John didn't write the gospel, didn't write the Injeel?
Well, how do you know they wrote it? Let's say John. Where does John say I wrote John?
I'm sorry. You're saying,
question, right? I'm supposed to answer it now. Well, let me know what you're
You're saying that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John did not write the gospel. That's what you said.
And actually, I'm just quoting.
You said Jesus wasn't going around preaching what Mark wrote.
Represent me, though.
He wasn't going around preaching what Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John wrote.
Right.
You said that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John didn't write the gospel of Jesus. And at the same time, in the same breath, you said you don't know who wrote the Injeel. You don't know who wrote the gospel. Yes, for those who are asking, Injeel means gospel. So when I say Injeel, I'm talking about the gospel, which our friends have no idea of anything about. They never seen it, never read it, never touched it. But for some reason, they're able to tell us what it's not when they can't tell us what it is. So I'm going to ask one more time. You don't know who wrote the Injeel. So if you don't know who wrote the Injeel, the gospel, how do you know that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John didn't write it? He admitted it himself. I never seen it. I asked, have you read it? I never read it. I asked, did you touch it? I never touched it. So how do you know what it is? Oh, we believe in the Quran. Where in the Quran does it tell you who it is? Who wrote it? Where in the Quran does it? All right, so you're back. So please answer the question.
Okay, I was speaking. I don't know what you heard. I'm not used to this app. I don't know
you were muted. So go ahead and repeat yourself when you asked what your answer was when I asked you. How do you know that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John did not write the Injeel, did not write the gospel? You're paused. So if you're paused, I can't hear you. When you're off the app, I can't hear you.
Okay. What about now?
As long as you're on the app, I can hear you. Whenever you go off the app, I can't hear you. But I know that you can hear me.
Okay.
So, like I said again,
I can't minimize this to quote something.
I mean, we won't be able to hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I was just quoting J.B. Phillips. You know who that is?
I don't care who that is. How do you know that Matthew?
One of your guys.
How do you know that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John did not write the Injeel when you don't know who wrote it?
Because I'm quoting J.B. Phillips to you, one of your Christians, one of a very famous scholar. I'm surprised you don't know who that is. But he said,
what does that have to do with my question?
Here it is. Here's like the early tradition ascribed Matthew being to Matthew, Mark being with Mark, Luke. But today, no scholar today will say, except for obviously some is more extreme devout Christian that'll say that these books.
You're not even quoting him.
Actually, go ahead and pull up J.B. Phillips' book.
I couldn't care less what he said. That doesn't answer my question.
Well, I gave you the quote to that where I got my source from, my information from.
It's not even a source. It's not answering my question.
of who wrote the gospel, right? That's your question. Even in John.
When you do not know who wrote the gospel, who wrote the Injeel, how do you know that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John did not write it?
It could have been the disciples, but even then, so you tell me that they wrote the genealogy.
The disciples. Wow.
I'm talking about the Injeel, right? So, but one thing is you're conflating usually, and I don't on his lives. It's hard to get like a full, honest discussion. But you're conflating. We don't believe in this. We don't say these books that you have is the Injeel, right? That's what we believe in.
That's perfectly fine. What I have is not the Injeel. So what is the Injeel? That's the question. What is it? For example, who wrote it down? Who wrote the Injeel?
That's a good question, actually. Yeah, but I don't know. Could have been the fish. These very likely when 90% of people
could have been the fish in the sea, huh?
No, I didn't say that. I said the fishermen of Galilee, when 90% of the population couldn't read or write. And then you're telling me.
Time out.
Let me finish. You asked me.
How do you know that there were fishermen in Galilee?
Let me finish. And then you could dissect it, destroy me, crucify me, whatever. So this is most likely Greek, second, third generation Christians who wrote this. No way these fishermen of Galilee, historically, who wrote what you have today. And who knows? 94%.
Am I asking about what I have, or am I asking? Am I asking about what I have, or am I asking about the Injeel?
Okay, good. So you agree that the Injeel is different from what you have today. Allahu Akbar.
No, you're saying that.
At least be honest. Let's be honest here.
No, you're saying that. So I'm just going by.
So did you? You just agreed with me.
Do you know what an internal critique is?
Yes.
What's an internal critique? Tell me what that is.
In scholarship, in academia, or what? What do you mean? Or you mean the general?
You don't have to be a scholar to enact an internal critique.
Okay, go ahead and make your point.
Do you know what an internal critique is?
I mean, in academia, yeah, where you internalize you critique the text. But anyways, you never answer the question how these fishermen of Galilee are writing.
You never answered the question. You didn't answer the question.
You're
the only one who hasn't been able to answer a question. Yeah. Matter of fact, when I've asked you the question, you chuckle and say, man, that's actually a good question, Avery. You have been unable to answer questions.
Yeah, that is a good question. I agree. Yeah,
okay, thank you. So you don't know who wrote the Injeel. Where do you get this idea that disciples may have wrote it? Where do you get this from?
Who was with him? If you look at Matthew, that message was for.
Wait a second. Why do you continue to go to my Bible, to my Gospels, when that's not what the Injeel is according to you? Yeah, stop going to the Bible.
Who said it's your Bible? We believe in some of it. I'm going to go to it as much as I want.
Oh my God. Yeah. Wait a second. Okay, I got you. Wait. So hold on a second.
If you believed in your own Bible, you would leave Trinitarianism.
So time out.
Go ahead.
Is what I have, the gospel that I have, is that the Injeel or not?
You already know it's not. I already answered this question.
You said it's not.
Definitely
Yet you believe in some of what Matthew wrote?
I don't believe Matthew wrote it, but I believe in some of it. Yeah, we have to do our best.
Okay, got you. Right? No worries. You believe in some of what some anonymous author wrote. You don't believe Matthew wrote it, but what's attributed to Matthew, you believe in some of that. Is that correct?
Give me a scholar who didn't get their.
Just answer the question. Just answer the question, Omar.
Well, give me a scholar who didn't get their degree in a cracker jack.
Omar, just answer the question. Do you believe in some of what Matthew wrote? Or what's attributed to him?
But didn't I already answer this question or no?
No, you didn't.
Be honest.
So please, or if you did, just give me an answer again. It's okay.
I said I believe in some of it. I take the school of thought of plausible.
Got you.
Plausible. So I believe in some of it.
Thank you. You believe in some of it. So was this author, since it's not the Injeel, so it's not what Jesus revealed, it's not the Psalms, it's not the Zabur, it's not the Torah, it's not. Let me ask you this: was the author, this anonymous author that wrote some of what you believe in, was he a prophet?
Of course not.
Was he a messenger?
No.
So how is it that you're believing in a writing, in a text that's not written or has any authority or revelation from Allah?
If you write, God is one, I'll say, I believe in it. You right now, you're a Trinitarian Christian who does shirk. I'll say, yeah, that's correct. You don't have to be a prophet to write something that's correct or that's real.
So somebody writing something that's correct is the same thing as you believing in that text?
Obviously, I check it with the criterion. I mean, the Sahaba, they wrote the Hadith, or was Sahaba who wrote the thing. And if you had something that you could date back to
what are you even saying?
If the Sahaba wrote hadith, right, and the Quran, right? So it doesn't have to be a prophet writing it. Even do you believe Isaiah wrote the whole?
Wait. Does the Quran affirm hadith?
Of course.
So are you saying that Jesus also had hadith? The Injeel had hadith?
Well, you already know what we believe about the Injeel, that we don't know if it's the actual, what could have been. We don't know. It's lost, right? Lost in history.
Man, a lot of I don't knows. So
why would I make up an answer?
But you are, though. Literally everything you're saying, you're making up as you go.
Okay.
What do you mean, why would you make up an answer? You've been literally making up an answer as you go.
Look at the Quran, Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 2. What does it say? We believe Nazzalna alayka al-kitab, what was original, the Torah and the Injeel, what was revealed before.
So what is this? What is this writing? What is this writing from this anonymous author that has some things that you believe in it? What is that?
What is that? If it doesn't contradict the Quran, the Hadith, we believe in it. Simple as that.
Oh, so anything ever in all of writing, in all of antiquity, no matter what the religion, no matter what the position, if what is written doesn't contradict the Quran, you believe in it?
If it doesn't contradict the Quran, the Hadith, obviously, then we have our historians look at it too. What's plausible, right?
What do you mean? Well, no, because now you're adding again. So is it what agrees with the Quran, the Hadith, and what historians say that contradicts truth for you? Or is it what aligns specifically with the Quran and Hadith alone? Which one is it?
So I guess it's a bit of both, but you're kind of mixing it a little bit. So it's the Quran, the Hadith, and what historians give me, Allah give me a brain, right? To see what's plausible.
Oh, so just to get it right. So now, at first you said it's just Quran and it's Hadith. Yeah. Whatever agrees with that is good. What doesn't, you reject. Now you're saying, hold on, Omar. Now you're saying it's Quran, it's Hadith, and it's what historians say.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, we're going to take historians.
Okay, good. Do historians say that Jesus died by crucifixion?
Your modern day historians, yes. Yeah, Bar Ehrman, they say he died by crucifixion.
Oh, historians say that Jesus died by crucifixion. Is that true?
Of course not. No, وَمَا قَتَلُوا وَمَا صَلَبُوا. To be defeated by anyone who's hanging on a tree is cursed, according to the Old Testament.
So your method of truth, your method of reality is butchered, what you gave me. No. Because I just asked you one element of your standard of reality that you gave me, your standard of truth. One element of those contradicts your others.
Not necessarily.
So you see how your standard of truth doesn't work?
No. So how about, look at this. So not all historians believe that Jesus was crucified, by the way. There was another man, Barabbas.
Okay, give me a reputable historian that rejects the crucifixion of Jesus under Pontius Pilate.
Dr. Ali Atai, PhD.
He's not a reputable historian. He's a Muslim.
Okay, so he's Muslim, so that disqualified him from being a historian. He had a PhD. He speaks 6 languages. You said right.
Dr. Ali Atai, you guys, who is a Muslim.
Oh, okay, so
he's a Muslim. He's not a historian. He's a Muslim, bro.
Well, all the information he gives has nothing to do with Islam, by the way. It's what's plausible.
Hey, Omar, man. Omar, I appreciate you coming by, man. But I'm done.
No problem, man.
Guys, what can I say? What can we say? If I were to repeat this conversation that I just had with Omar with someone who is, let's say, someone who is sensitive towards Islam, right? Someone who is sympathetic or empathetic. What is it? Empathetic towards Islam. Sympathetic? One of those. Y'all know what I mean. If I were to repeat this conversation with somebody who sympathized with Islam, they would think I was lying. They would think that I am purposely misrepresenting Muslims, purposely misrepresenting their argument, their belief, purposely taking what they say out of. They would think that I was joking. If I were to repeat the conversation that I and Umar had to one of those Islam sympathizers. Man, oh man, you cannot, and I repeat, and I say this all the time, it's a saying now in our realm, you cannot make this up. You can't do it. You can't make this up.
Alright, welcome back guys. That was an amazing and very educated moment. Let us know what you were able to learn in the comment section. Seems like every Muslim have their own definition of what the Injeel is. They never know anything but only what they are told to repeat, and it is like a loop. Seems like they are in a loop. They just stick to one argument, one pattern of argument in particular. No matter how you try to convince them, they will never leave that. Why would Mark, Luke, Matthew, and John choose to give a different message than the one that Jesus gave? What would be the point of it? They died for what they believe. So what was the benefit to them to die because of a lie? These people literally gave their lives for the sake of the gospel with their full conviction of who Jesus is. So I don't think anybody will want to give his life because of falsehood, except if you're a Muslim who has been brainwashed or who don't know the truth. Islam don't know what the Injeel is. They have never seen it, nor have they ever read from it, yet they believe that it has been corrupted. How do you differentiate the original product from the fake if you have never seen that product or held it? For you to differentiate the fake from the original, it must be that you have the original or at least seen it for you to know when a product is fake from the original one. And I believe that lies have been embedded in the core teaching of this religion so much that no matter how they try, they can't stop manifesting the devil's gifting. Now I believe truly about what the Bible says in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 18, where the scripture said, "For the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God unto salvation." So you can see that Bible is correct when you see people manifest like this. So guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to share this video, subscribe and like it as well. We'd love to see you in the next episode.